And also is now that there are things like crowdsource funding coming through, that is starting to become a new player in the game, and with all of these strange SEC regulations and all of that, which God willing that we're going to finally get all of that that figured out and sorted out to finally. How is that changing the field and changing the game?
The landscape for crowdfunding makes it interesting because normal investors can now have access to media product. And before, you only have access to media product when you are an accredited investor, because in the United States, the investment rules are very, very stringent, and that's a good thing. So with crowdfunding, investors who would never have access to this kind of investment form are now able to invest. I still think they should be careful. I still think there is some regulation, and some regulation is important, but I wouldn't say that it's a negative. I actually think it's a positive because it moves the market around and it makes a lot of pictures possible and a lot of projects possible that would never be funded otherwise. Another thing we're seeing, which is quite interesting, is that investors come to us and say, I would like to give you financing if you cast my wife or my girlfriend. I mean, you see those things happening, and acting is, in my view, the hardest job in the industry anyway. You have so much talent out there that will never see the day of light because they don't have the relationships. And I was really fascinated to see that those investors, wives or friends, they were very talented actors, and it's beautiful to see, and they would have never had a chance to get into the marketplace if it wouldn't be for that. And people always frown and say, oh my God, you sold a role, you sold a role. You know what? Yes, I did sell a role, but it's really a good actress, a really good actor, and thank God I found that person. I would have never found that person otherwise. So it obviously goes both ways.
The fact that it's like if a responsible investor, truly does believe in the talent that he is asking to do, not just a favor kind of thing, then it winds up being a win-win situation.
Yes, and at the end of the day, the director obviously will make the final decisions if they like the actor in the part. So it's not like only because the investor gives you a lot of money you will cast the actor. The actor really has to be able to do the role. So it is a win-win for both. And I think it's an interesting development.
New aspects such as like new medias that have come out, such as machinima, other aspects as well. Is that also channels that you're starting to also explore in terms of?
We explore all channels that are available to us because it's our job to do that. We need to widen the horizon with regards to any exploitation possibility available to us in order to recoup our investment. I find all the online strategies extremely important and valuable. And that's something we're putting more emphasis on to see, because in the end of the day, it's just widening our horizons, and I think that's essential. Anything that you can do that makes your project more economic and feasible, you should do. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's online, if it's not online, if it's with visual effects, if it's not visual, it doesn't matter what it is. The responsibility of any filmmaker and producer is to research all of these aspects to respond to the marketplace accordingly.
So is there something that you want to give to all future filmmakers, or any last pieces of advice?
I would like to say to all future filmmakers, or all filmmakers, do your homework, do your research, like you would do in any other profession you choose. If you want to be good at something, you need to do your homework and you need to really dig into it, and you can't be lazy sitting around waiting for someone to hand you the golden ticket. And I think it's important to know that everything is possible. If you dream of something, you just know, if you really work at it hard enough, it is possible. I mean, I am the absolute example. I do not come out of a family where film, we didn't do any film. My mother's a hairdresser and she raised us, my sister and I, as a single mother, so I had no knowledge of ever being a filmmaker. I was thinking maybe I'll become a lawyer, or who knows. So I stumbled into it, but...
Your mother pushes for that.
Yeah, exactly. But I want to say that if I can do it, coming from a little town in Germany and now living in Hollywood, doing big movies, anyone can do it.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.